Mamen kan ade bi nchiro. According to Suleiman Abraham of 4th Estate in Ose, National Service Scheme scandal, President ordered that an audit be conducted into the scandal and a new digital platform be built before completion of the audit. Director General writes to Minister that the CSMP metric app owners want to strike a deal to hand over the platform to NSA. Owners say they value the system at $2 million. The president and director say system na national service scheme for mu use no montungu na monsesa no kwabrane president na boni dis on nko manage sub department and say there be on there he is going to buy the whole platform at $2 million by himself. Oh, it on no dey onimnyansa che president John Dramani Mahama o say on the audit require aba say app na enya adwuma ye this scandal say ba na according to him no it's okay. Asemo 7 months ago kwabrane ya boni dis on come manage the president e kan say hey madam for ya di we mama na me president ni ema ni monyama kwabrane say da me de menye o say menye me de minim nyansa rather no kwa no o say kwa akoto application no $2 million. Hey asa na 7 months be na president kwa ma order wuntie no because oni Pablo minister nankasa aka papa isi mintie ama na kwa kodu president o ma president say hey madam for ya di we mama na manimu manyam akwade say menye application almost say so present application when we discover something say national service scheme audit findings and they say there were 778 persons aged between 11 and 17 and another dan kwaku for the same year akwala wadi 17 years akwala wo 11 years bi wo 12 bi wo 13 no national service scheme nyane yes o menye national service itu omoka and another dan kwaku for or see the total of over 400,000 Ghana cedis. Na do amamu no. Na gift one amudi tuya nkwala mo between 11 and 17 years. And the president in this data no. This information no see there be app na nkrofo we are building. It seems that somebody is behind the app or manipulating the system no. Because it doesn't make sense say akwala 11 years you dey acquire national service. Enti mo say app na kwabra na say there be me the app no kwa me kwa akoto. Mr. President means say no. Why now appointing me? But me my dream app no, I can buy the app for $2 million. Now if you my part, the full be the app na here. President say, madam, for what is wrong with you? Me na my point to. I am the president, and I'm a sister Sandy with mommy. I can't say me O say me app na according to Auditor General no. And kwala nkwa app no. Hey, asemo. Ghana pound and another dan kwaku for the same see you. Hey. In 70 people what you say, I have a mote kura na ha adwen. Omze mpanyifo abi kura di 90 years, be over 100 years. Or national service to anaka. To the tune of over 1.97 million Ghana cedis and another dan kwaku for do. You started from kwala 11 years, kwoti obi oye 120 something years ni to anaka. Onkrufu o mo da we na na do appointees. Adwuma omoye no. Adwuma omoye no. According to the 4th Estate, I'm taking my time to do this research and then presenting it to you. I'm building a case, case in I say. The reason why Papa we are president was signing no. President Ayinedi. But on one sign anyway, we are. Listen. According to you, Suleiman Abraham, or say, personnel aged over 100 years and some as old as 1,000 years. I have no idea. Were paid a total of over 100,000 Ghana cedis. Others between 0 and 10 were paid a total of over 800,000 Ghana cedis. 2,570 transactions. Inti minim Ghana will be 1,000 years quoting national service and another don't go for Pacho TME. 7 on the Pantoma. 4th Estate to say, Apna, akwawe so kwakoton, apna titia pansam no. And these are the reasons why a president say apna mani je won monto mpene. Monto apna mpene. Yesi obi wo kra na yetimi tua na national service in a month no ono kwaji pay over 70 times. salary national service ka no ye tue ne ba ko pe ono nko age say over 70 times obi over 50 to 59 che say te say kan me meti we na medin no eno wan sika ne ba pepa ntini ba ko timeji over 66,000 in a month ono nko ane de e ba no but this is data aye fa free allergy Dr. Mamudu ba omiase yemfa nya adwuma no eno bi no I'm building a case data na me de adwuma I don't want to mess anything up. That is why I'm taking my time. I do a lot of research. Interviews and force and name about later. And the data na area you manage to say ni papa national service scheme platform na ngrofo so ma building no. E mo mu wie sika o Ghana no. Enya asem ketoa. That is why President John Dramani Mahama through Pablo and you discover idea we and the Pablo say hey app we na ngrofo na building no. There's something behind the app na NPP for the wie ska. It woman terminated appointment or the contract no papa ne say da me dem enye akwa ko do president or my president a order papa yi say hey krache ade we mo Ghana yitu nchen akwa ne say da me dem enye nti Suleiman be ma to ne bo ase e de ade we nyina bai na national service scheme nsensem no ebi wo ho a wanti mu ye yentie abra attorney general see or discover what Gifty Oware mu were using this particular app to do. But you're listening to Attorney General here very, very carefully.
Gifty Oware Mensah created and executed a meticulously detailed plan using NSP National Service Personnel Allowances as security to obtain a loan of 30,698,218 cedis, 69 pesos, from the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, at an interest rate of 23%. She achieved these results by using other people's information to register a company called Blocks of Life Consult without their knowledge or permission. Subsequently, she presented Blocks of Life Consult through a middleman in the person of Maxwell Akwesi Ofori-Minta to an official of the Agricultural Development Bank, and enlisting her husband, Mr. Peter Mensah, a lawyer, to act as one of the directors or representative of the said company. She told ADB that the company specialized in supplying home appliances to national service personnel and proposed that ADB finance the company to enable it to supply these items on higher purchase basis to the service personnel, with the NSA being responsible for handling the deductions and repayments. During the period, suspect Gifty was the acting director, Gifty Oware Mensah was the acting director of the authority. However, on the marketplace of the authority, there was no indication that Blocks of Life was a registered vendor. Within 2 service years, suspect Gifty Oware Mensah used a total of 9,934 ghost names to misappropriate the aforementioned funds. Investigation further established that after ADB transferred the funds into the account of the company, she subsequently transferred the funds into 4 different company accounts with the names of Amiacom, Scaffold, Oche, and Aristo Logistics and Trading. It was further established that suspect Gifty is a director of Amiacom, and Scaffold Company Limited belongs to suspect Abraham Gezi.
While delivering the presentation of Gifty Oware Kunudi Peter Mensah, Medoba National Service Scheme, a hot dear de Pantoma. To Boise, I go to the baby kama pa. Little did we know, sir. Gifty Oware Nikunu Air Coast School, UK Kurana, Ghana buying 8 years niska, to the sense that you send 2 years Gifty Oware is a call, now Nukunu and Koda. But what you're saying here? Gifty Oware Kunu Air Coast School, UK also called LLM. Ghana buying through scholarship secretariat, 8 years Gifty Oware is say, now our UK party, Ukunu and Wimina, no one can say. Yebeko Tobo is several doors. People are surprising. It's going to surprise you, Minianum. Ghana and another go for no. They were giving the money for free. So when President John Dramani Mahama came and said that he was going to reset the country, no, we didn't want any scandal. It is a president. I'm finding ANC from now and $2 million scandal be ever hit no. Oh, how we need the pebia. So number they come with different ideas and different motives. And the national service scheme hono, yanko yera Suleiman Abrahima, one sembia okay, if I do tears skepa papa ebe koti. And another than Kufa Domo, ADCS canon. That is why a president will only person kikabia, Babetan NDC home. If I do papa presentation or ye.
Since the start of the project in 2021, a number of very important and impactful stories have been made. This is not the first. If you recall the SML, the whole SML thing, was started by the Fourth Estate and all of that. But this particular story, I should say the developments are quite fulfilling for a number of reasons, because we went through a lot of troubles. At the last minute when we were ready to bring it out, we had a judge who thought that it was right to issue a pre-publication injunction to essentially say, stop, don't publish what you intend to publish.
It was an ex parte injunction. Yes, it was sticking on your blind side.
Yes, on our blind side. And then we had to then ask ourselves, what can we do? Well, if a court says we shouldn't publish, we cannot publish, let's send our petition, first of all, to the OSP. And then when ORA was also set up, we said, let's send it there. And we thought we needed to do this because what we had discovered was so scandalous. I think that in the end, the amounts that would be involved perhaps would be more than what the Attorney General at this stage has even discovered. Because there are certain persons that, from our investigations, we knew that were deeply involved in this whole process. But of course, there are two people who are not named. We don't know who they are. But if it turns out not to be those people, for example, then it means there are a lot of people who must be brought to book on this particular matter. And what is also fulfilling for me, Samson, I should say that, but for the work we did, nobody would even suspect that there was anything happening at the National Service Authority. Nobody would have had a clue that something could be happening, so let's investigate. Because the thing was very well orchestrated in such a way that unless, you had people who were familiar with the situation willing to cooperate, there's no way, because this is a technology that has been developed. Dr. Baumia is told, as a result of this technology, we are blocking ghost names. As a result of this technology, if you don't have a Ghana card, you cannot enroll as a national service person. And once you have a Ghana card as Samson Ayenini, your thumbprint and everything, it's not only the Ghana card that serves as evidence, but that once we take it, we actually match it with your records at NIA, because there is that agreement between NSA or NSS then and the NIA. So once we put in your card, if your card doesn't match with the records at NIA, it means that you cannot enroll. But we end up discovering that people were actually using just paper ID cards, National Fire Service ID card, work ID card like my Joy FM ID card to get enrolled. Which means that the system, as we were being told, is a robust system. People had their own ways of going behind it. And in the end, having thousands and thousands and thousands of people, enrolled. You take a university like UDS, and you have people giving different index number patterns. Every university has an index number pattern. So if you go to University of Ghana, they'll say, well, we use absolute figures. So 10, 11, 44, 99, or blah, blah, blah. But you would find somebody, maybe University of Ghana, and University of Ghana, for some strange reasons, was not part of the schools that they were using. It's UDS, Winneba, and UDS, the various campuses. So eventually UDS Tamale, for example, now comes to say that, look, the numbers you have put out there are certainly not UDS numbers, so please, the Fourth Estate, take our names out. And we say, no, it's not, the numbers are not created by us. This is what National Service say, you brought. And then you have a situation where one person, I've forgotten the name, is enrolled like 226 times, the same name, the same ID, the same course, completed the same year.
You found people who were how many years old?
80 years, 90 years enrolled for national service. People who were, Kenyans, a Kenyan sitting somewhere, in his company, doing his work, doesn't know that his picture is being used to enroll for national service here in Ghana. You had ID cards that had a man's face and the name is a woman's face. You had ID card with a different date of birth, and then on the system, it's a different date of birth. But this was something that you certainly cannot have access to. And so when we started, I think they just brushed us aside. No, these people, what are they doing? They don't know what they are doing. Eventually, there were calls, oh, can you come and have a conversation? Once we take you through our system, you realize that what you are doing is just junky work. You basically will not be wasting your time.
So what I say? This is the system. They deceived Ghanaians to believe, say, a robust, say, eliminating ghost names. Later, we know that somebody who created that app, that platform, had a lot of systems. I bet my input